Hi, and welcome to the Perham Show. I'm Gail Langner. I'm so glad you stopped by today. And I'm here at Calvary Lutheran Church with Pastor Phil Holton. Thanks for having us in today.
It's great to be here.
Well, I know that you and your Calvary kids have got a really great project going on.
We sure do. It's called the Malaria Campaign. And, malaria is one of the real scourges health-wise in the world, and especially affects little kids. So the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, United Methodists have teamed together, Gates Foundation, to eradicate malaria in the world, and it would save absolutely millions of kids every year. And our kids are very excited about it. So one of the things we're doing, our goal is to raise 10,000. We've raised 4,000 already. We haven't really even started.
Wow.
And one of the things that we're doing that we're having a great time is something called a noisy offering.
Okay.
So the kids, after our children's sermon, they take these galvanized milk buckets, and I hope these mics aren't too powerful, because we make a lot of noise, and our people are so excited. But I think it really fits to our kids feel powerful when they're doing this, because they say, we can do something. And it kind of reminds me of Feed My Starving Children or something like that, where you take on a big problem in the world, and kids can find ways that they can feel powerful, that they can do something. And I think that's a trajectory for their life.
And probably remember it their whole lives long.
Yeah. So they were just chattering with each other about how fun this was. You know, we raised about $200 on Sunday just from the coins and a little quiet money.
Oh, sure.
They couldn't help it. They put some quiet money in there too. And we have 6 weeks of Lent that our goal is to raise 10,000. But even beyond the money, it's to raise our hope, it's to raise our awareness, it's to raise our connection with people from other places. I think Perham, nestled here in Minnesota, is an amazingly global place.
Yes.
We've got people from all over the world that live here, whether it's the turtle races that have people from other countries here. Our schools are pretty language oriented and lots of talk about other countries, so we're pretty connected. And I think this is just another way that we feel good about connecting ourselves with the world.
Oh, I think it is a great idea. Where did you ever come up with the idea of the noisy offering?
This is happening at a bunch of churches around, and I think it adds a certain kind of rowdy flavor to worship that is not usually a word you use for worship, but I think it kind of wakes everybody up to kids and brings the congregation together. So.
Do the kids go through and take everybody's change out of their pockets?
No, but it's pretty much a shakedown.
Is it?
It's pretty much a shakedown. I think if you don't come up with something, I dare you to. And our people will be a little better prepared, I think, with change. But there are a few that had envelopes that just dumped a whole bunch of stuff in, and like a waterfall. And our kids thought that was really cool, because of course they don't care about what denomination it is. Pennies make just as much noise.
Exactly.
So I think once our adults figure that out, there'll be mountains of pennies cascading into galvanized milk pails.
Oh, that is a wonderful idea.
So we're having lots of fun with that, and I think if members of our community would like to be around to see this, for one thing, they could listen on the radio, Lakes 95. They could come here and join us if they don't have a church home. They can watch on cable TV at 9 o'clock on Tuesday mornings. They can pray for us. They could send a check.
Right.
So there are lots of ways they could be involved. But just to kind of let you know about some vitality of what's happening in individual churches in our community, and we're having some fun.
Well, it's great. And this, with the mosquitoes here, with the net, that's very creative also.
So each week, the kids get to swat down mosquitoes. So the little mosquitoes are 10, and the big ones are 50. So they're going to get to be able to pull some of this off and make a chart about working their way to
that is
eradicating,
so creative.
eradicating malaria. So
well, that is great.
Cool.
Well, I thanks so much for having us come here today and bringing this to light and here at Calvary Lutheran. And we'll be watching to see how you and your children do.
We'll have a little story about that when it's
That's
done.
a great idea.
Thanks.
Great idea. Thanks so much.
All right.
And don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. I'm here now with Pastor Dirk Currier from Northwoods Assembly Church. And Pastor Dirk, I know you have something going on right now called the Raven. Is it Raven Food Bank?
Raven Food Outreach.
Outreach.
Yep.
Could you just explain to the community a little bit about what that is? Because I've seen some amazing things that you're doing already. It's relatively new, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We've been doing it for a little over a month and a half now.
Okay.
And what it is we've been doing it every Tuesday. We actually pick up the food on Monday and we distribute it Tuesday night to the community. But starting the very first Monday in March, which I believe is the 4th, we're going to pick it up Monday and distribute Monday. Okay. So this way, there's been a lot of confusion with the weather and are we having it, are we not having it? So this way, it's one day and our volunteers are only tied up for one day, especially coming in the spring and summertime. So what we do is we pick up food, and I mean, it's a lot of food. And anybody can come. We don't ask for names, we don't ask for phone numbers, anything like that. The only twist that we've done is we've taken, many people have done food things and giving food away and all that kind of stuff. But what we've done, we've tried to bring it back to kind of a scriptural standpoint, which is in the very beginning, we take about 5 minutes. We try to encourage the folks with a little scripture. We also show a video clip of what God has done in different people's lives, everything from drug addiction and how they've been set free to homelessness and how God has put them back on their feet. So we show them a little video clip, and then throughout the night, we offer to pray with people as they're getting food. And I tell you, we've had some tremendous prayer times with people. I mean, people, emptying Kleenex boxes. I mean, just because they just needed somebody to pray with them. Yes, they need food, but even more important than that, they just needed to know that somebody cared and was willing to listen and even offer prayer. So we've had some tremendous times of ministry as well. But as far as what kind of food, a lot of it is perishables. We have lots of breads. Every week is different. I mean, sometimes we get cases of Pops, cases of M&Ms, tea, produce, salads. I mean, it really varies from week to week. Always you can count on bread for the most part. Okay. But the other stuff, like we just had distribution last night, and there were some very, very incredible things. I mean, sheet cakes and pies and desserts and donuts, and I mean, the list just goes on. And so it's been, every week is kind of like Christmas at church, because it's always different. We bring it in, we're like, wow, this is neat and this is neat. And even more important, what a blessing, some of the stories. And I'll just share one story. One gal at the end was just crying and shared a story a few weeks back saying, this is the first time in weeks I've been able to give any kind of sweets whatsoever to my children. And so the stories are so great, and the people are so gracious. Our volunteers are not just from Northwoods Assembly. We do have a couple from the outside and some other churches. And the other thing we do, as the people are sitting waiting for their number to be called, we have announcements that scroll on the screen. So we promote upcoming events at the church, as well as other opportunities where people can find some help. For instance, we've promoted with a slide the baby bin that the Alliance Church in town does, where they can go get some help with diapers and stuff. We promoted the clothing thing that Richville Methodist Church has. So we try to keep all things that are available out there for the people so they can see it and be made known of those kind of things. And then we always invite them back to things that we have coming at church. Well, not just feeding them, but feeding the soul too. So that is an amazing ministry. And how are you getting the word out to people? Or is it just word of mouth? Are people finding out about it? Or? Now it's word of mouth. We've had an article in the newspaper. We have other means as far as people that work with the county, as far as just getting some word out with people. Don't like to throw names out there with that, but the word is getting out, and now that we've been doing it for a month and a half, the word spreads. I mean, we get phone calls. Hey, I heard about this. First time I heard about it. Can I come? Can I tell others? Absolutely. And we'll run. Last night we had like 80 families or so that came through. I think our highest point was like 130, 140 families that came through. Oh my gracious. So it ebbs and flows, but we go with it. I like to say, blessed are the flexible, for they won't be bent out of shape. So exactly right. Yeah, so we've been enjoying it. Well, great. Well, thanks for filling us in on that, and we'll be checking in later to see how you're doing with that. So. Absolutely, and anybody can come, 945 West Main Street right here in Perham. Great, thank you. And if you ever have anything that you would like to see on the Perham Show, I'd love to hear any ideas that you have. Just give me a call, Gail Langner. My number is 841-2094. Thanks so much and have a blessed day.